Hey y'all, hey. I am a dog mom. And when I saw this video that I'm going to share with you, it touched me in so many ways, not only because of it being so heartfelt with this young woman, but because I know how, I'll put it like this, that you can connect with animals in ways that you didn't know how, and they can inspire you in ways that you would not have believed if you hadn't lived through it. And how they are so in tune with you, that they are in your life for a time in which you need them. And when they have fulfilled their purpose, they feel it's okay to go ahead and go to the Rainbow Bridge. Well, what are you talking about? Let's take a look.
And $41 to euthanize my dog and cremate him. I'll tell you why that means something to me. I found my Christopher, or Christopher found me, when I was just 16 years old. And I was homeless. And he was homeless. I saw him wandering around, and I just had the urge to take care of him. Christopher was my first creation. I named him. I loved him. And I looked at him every day. And even though I couldn't do it with myself, I believed that he deserved better. So I stayed in school. I focused on school. I earned a full ride to college. I was first generation. It was difficult, but I graduated and got my bachelor's degree. I told Christopher I will be somebody and I will get him out of homelessness. And I kept that promise. Christopher got to live in expensive houses, homes. He had clothes, all the food that he wanted, the best of everything. Even his last birthday, I went all out for him. But what means the most was that in his last days, he was dying. And if I was still that homeless girl that didn't have anything to her name, my dog would have suffered. But he didn't, because I kept my promise.
The reason why that story is so beautiful to me is because we got Bradley when my daughter was 9 years old, because she's an only child. And I didn't know, we had kind of dogs growing up, but they were always outside. But this was the first dog that we had from the time he was a puppy, and, raised him. And he was my daughter's first duty to show her responsibility, because we lived on the military base and that was her job to walk him and stuff like that. But at any rate, the reason why, let me show you a picture of Bradley. See, you see my little girl, but you see my little Bradley. And they grew up together. They grew up together, okay? I used to talk about people who would take pictures with their dogs until I became one. So, our family picture. And again, I thought he was just a dog, but he became my canine son. He became her brother. She referred to him as her brother. And he taught her some things, but he taught me some things. And it's kind of like when she said that, when the young lady said that she couldn't do it for herself, but when she had Christopher, he gave her the motivation to do something different with her life. And when I had my daughter, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I couldn't do it for myself. I was irresponsible. But when I knew I was carrying that little person, and when I had her, she inspired me and motivated me to do something for that I couldn't do for myself. So, and I'm saying all of this because toward the end, when Bradley was getting older in age, my daughter was getting, she graduated from college and actually she graduated from high school and went on to college and started to become an adult. And by this time, Bradley stayed with me, even though I got him for her, but he stayed with me because she was living her life. And by this time, I was in a relationship that was not a good one. And I shared with you that the person, it ended with the person putting his hands on me. Okay. And let me back up by telling you that individual, his birthday was Christmas Eve. All right. So I want you to keep that in your mind. So a week before, it was around the 16th of December, my 16th of December 2017, I believe, Bradley had a stroke. Bradley had a stroke, but he seemed to be doing really well. Okay. And several months earlier, in July of that same year, is when that person put his hands on me. Well, then anyway, let's keep it moving. So November of that year, 2017, I bought my house. And I was still living in a rental house at that time, but I was getting ready and I was having the new house renovated. Okay. So December 24th comes, and we're all gathered together as family, from all over the country. California, Tennessee, North Carolina, my daughter and her fiance at this time, we're all at my house. And Bradley transitioned. I fell out. It was like losing a child, literally. I fell out. But my daughter, by this time, who was in her 20s, with her fiance, they kept me together. They pulled me together. And my dog, I had to think about it. Once I got past my grief, my dog was taking care of me even in the end. So he knew that that person's birthday was on the 24th of December, but I would no longer have to be reminded of that individual on the 24th of December because I would think about my Bradley. Okay. And in my mind, that was Bradley's way of saying F you to him because Bradley didn't like him from the beginning. So Bradley planted that seed that I would always remember Bradley on the 24th of December and not that individual. But also, Bradley waited till all the family came to be with me because he knew that I would need it before he left me. He was taking care of me. So let's fast forward. I was so excited about the new house because Bradley was, starting a new journey, new house. But he died before I could move into the house. And it was my mother that told me that Bradley had fulfilled his assignment. He had fulfilled his assignment by helping me to raise my daughter, that he was her canine brother. He had fulfilled his assignment by taking care of me even in the end. And that I would not have to take memories of him to the new house because he had never been in it. That I was starting afresh. And he waited until his assignment had been completed before he left. My daughter was grown and on her own, getting ready to get married and start her life. So I say this to you, young lady. Christopher left because he knew that you were ready. He was the impetus. He was a catalyst to galvanize you to do the things that, like you said, you couldn't do for yourself. But Christopher helped you do it for him. He left you the better. And he left you at a time that he knew you were ready to carry on without him. Keep going. This is for her, for me, and all who need it. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.